Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Kayla, I'm feeling better. Thank you. And I hope you're doing well, friendo. And maybe we'll see you later. I hope. Hope everybody's doing well. It's another amazing day for finding out what's going on in the world of gaming and playing some games, man. So that's what's on the agenda, man, as always. We got video gaming news for today, June 25th, and then we'll dive into some grounded gameplay. Cool. That'll be the jam for today. Yesterday was wonky, man. I had an extended electricity outage, and it really messed the day up quite a bit. So apologize for that. Didn't really get any gaming in, so that sucked. But, you know, that's life, I guess. So we should be good. Funny enough, dude. Electricity went out yesterday. It was beautiful. Beautiful morning. What up, Vault? What's going on, Doug? Electricity went out yesterday. It was a beautiful day. Beautiful morning. Electricity went out. And then last night, we had, like, tornado warnings. Like, local tornadoes. Crazy storms. Electricity was on all night, as far as I know. I guess that's the way that rolls, dude. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but you know. Yeah, dude. Yeah, so. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Alright, Caleb, man, I'm sorry for that. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. Bummer. I hope the day perks up for you, you know. You know we're always here. If you can hang, then, you know, we're always here for you. So hope things start turning around for you, looking up, brightening up a little bit for you. Yeah. I mean, I grew up. You know, you talk about like Mother Nature and stuff. I grew up in an area where it's like you just deal with tornadoes all the time, and you know, spring, summer, and stuff. So it's like I always love the storms that come with them, you know. Tornadoes suck, they're devastating, you know, but it's one of those things that some people, you know, they grow accustomed to just having to deal with hurricanes. Some people grow accustomed to just having to deal with earthquakes. You know, some people just are accustomed to having to deal with tornadoes, man, and that's the way I grew up, man. It's just you just know how to deal with it. And luckily, I'm not one of those people that really. I actually enjoy storms. I like storms, so you know, it doesn't bother me too bad. I actually enjoy it. I tend to sleep better. I did have a tough time getting to sleep last night because my head was just crushing all day, man. But if my head does feel better, that's good news. Yeah, you too, Kayla, you too. So let's go ahead and do what we do, man. Let's start diving in here and see what we got for video gaming news. First and foremost, this is what we're looking at this morning, or listening to this morning, I guess it would be, for the music. Loop Hero vibes, yeah. Loop Hero vibes. Good stuff. Very cool game, very good soundtrack, highly recommend. Roguelike, auto battler, RPG game. It's very cool. Highly recommend. Indie dev, and I love the soundtrack too. I love it. So if you're liking the music or the game sounds like something you'd be interested in, highly recommend you check it out. Okay, we'll go ahead and kill the music and get into this news stuff. Oh yeah. Let's see what we got. And we talked about this yesterday, man. Yeah, basically. I mean, they've been behind. I don't know that I would say they've entirely lost. I don't know if that war is over, right? But they've definitely had to find ways to be different in that market, to set themselves apart and find other ways to compete because, yeah, they've always been third place there behind Nintendo and PlayStation, so we've talked about it. Ooh, Diablo 4 DDoS attack. Uh-oh. Yeah, well, yeah, dude. Yeah. See what else we got here. That's funny, dude. Ah, love that coffee. Nintendo makes one of the best Switch games, only $2. See what that is? We've already talked about this. This is actually, they're talking about Baldur's Gate 2. Prime Gaming's giving away some additional games right now. Baldur's Gate 2 is one of them. Go check it out. We've already hit on it before, so I'm not going to dive in there. We talked about this yesterday as well. A new Slender Man game is in development. Xbox Game Pass subscribers slam embarrassing price increase. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. According to Phil Spencer, Call of Duty could run relatively great compared to other Switch games, but we've already read about this, right? It would have to be, it would be a different game. It wouldn't be. It's like, have you seen the difference between The Witcher 3 on the Switch and The Witcher 3 on other platforms? It's different. It's a much different experience. Graphically, right? Visually, it's a much different experience, and that's what Call of Duty would have to be too. Call of Duty would have to be um entirely, I mean, the game would have to be re-optimized specifically as it should be for the Switch, but um meaning that if it was going to hit on the Switch, it would be a much more low quality game. You're not going to get anything above 30 frames on that either. There's no way. There's no way you're going to get anything above 30 frames per second on that console. And for a shooting game, that feels really bad. Okay. But for Nintendo players out there, they will be willing to play that. If they're just dedicated Nintendo players, they don't want to play on any other console, but they're interested in Call of Duty, they won't care. They won't mind. They'll get throttled if it's cross-platform, but they'll still play it. The thing is, I find it funny that all of this hubbub is about Call of Duty running on the Switch. Nintendo's bringing out a new console. Okay? Nintendo's going to be releasing a new console. I am willing to bet within the next year, 2 years tops. Tops. The Switch is too old, dude. It's too old. And a lot of people go, well, it's only 7 years old right now. The hardware in it's 8 years old. And it's mobile technology, which means it hasn't aged as well as a traditional console would. Everything that comes out on the Switch looks dated. And it's severely constrained. Developers are severely constrained by that hardware. Most games can't run above 30 frames on that. Even at the visual quality that you see, games are not near the same kind of graphical fidelity that can be output on other modern platforms, you know. And don't get me wrong, Switch is a great console, but it's I think overdue for Nintendo. Okay, go play then. Limited Run Game Showcase happening July 12th. Ooh. Interesting. I wonder if they're going to announce any kind of physical releases for anything cool. Limited Run Games is good at that. We read about that yesterday too. Capcom has now sold over 500 million video games all time over their 40-year existence. That's insane, dude. It's a lot. I keep saying it too. I feel like Capcom's one of the better AAA developers. I mean, they have been and they continue to be. We see a lot of these other AAA developers that have really fallen off. Not just content wise, but in their ability to be able to release solid performing games and stuff. Capcom has still stayed up on both fronts, in large part. It's good to see, man. Final Fantasy 16 is being review bombed. God, yeah. I mean, I don't. I mean, a lot of the critic reviews I've seen have been very good for it. But I mean, I even posted a video yesterday from a news segment talking about how I probably won't play this game. It's not Final Fantasy. It's basically Devil May Cry slash Bayonetta. It's not an RPG anymore. It's an action combat game with very very shallow RPG elements. Apparently, we'll bring it up and see what's. I mean, I'm guessing that's what it's about. Um, I'm sorry, but I don't know what Square was really thinking here. You know, for traditional, obviously, we'll talk about it once we get in here. But traditional Final Fantasy fans weren't going to be stoked about them changing the core aspects of what Final Fantasy has always been. There have been obvious changes to the game over the years, and we expect an amount of that as gaming evolves. But the core aspects of Final Fantasy being an RPG, taking that away means it's no longer Final Fantasy. Davey, what up, dog? What's going on, man? Husband says his wife makes his lunch based on how well he treats her the day before. That's an article for video gaming news. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Nothing. What are you doing today, dude? Are you working? No, 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 no. Did you work yesterday? You wouldn't be working today, I don't think. Um, you playing games, dude? Sega should make a new console to compete with Nintendo. Boy, that'd be a rough attempt there. I think at this point in gaming, anybody trying to create a new console, especially just specifically aiming at um competing with Nintendo, that's going to be a very, very, very difficult thing to actually do. Oh, you did? Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, man, you're still in that 6 day grind, huh? Yeah. Zombie survival game Vane announced for Xbox. Oh, Fallout 4's been showcased with DLSS 3 frame generation, huh? I haven't seen anything on the DLSS 3 frame generation, which is like the big new tech for all the 4000 series cards, right? I haven't seen any real showcasing of that in a game for a while. I think the last thing I saw was like Spider-Man stuff. So let's see what they were able to do with last time I saw it was like decent, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Obviously, it offloads a lot of hardware usage, but if it's not generating frames, well, what we saw in Spider-Man was that the AI generated frames, this technology, the frame generation stuff out of the 4000 series cards, it was good, but it wasn't great. Every other frame, you were losing a lot of effects. It was like the AI couldn't generate. It could generate the base of what was going on, but it couldn't. It couldn't copy a lot of the effects that were happening and stuff too, which was kind of making things look weird. It seemed, and I haven't seen a lot since. So I wonder what they've been able to show off in Fallout. I wonder if that tech has evolved at all yet. Sims like game Life by You. Yeah. I think it's good there's an alternate coming out to The Sims. I looked this up the other day. A lot of people love The Sims, man. We've looked into this game just briefly a couple times, but there's more info coming out on it, so we'll touch on this real quick. But um, it's crazy. Like The Sims it's one of those games where like The Sims 4 is free to play, right? But if you go take a look at how much DLC you can buy, it's over $1,100 worth of DLC, which is insane. It's just asinine. Yeah, what's up, Psych? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, some people love it, dude. Some people stick with it. I think Mamzelle's a longtime player of it, actually. And I don't know. I think that it's crazy how, but I mean it's EA, isn't it? I mean, doesn't EA pub that game? What do you mean? Vault. So like previous Sims games didn't really count it as DLC, it was just part of the base game. Is that what you're getting at? Or on that list, the top of that list was a lot of DLC that was in other Sims base games. Is that what you mean? Let me pull it up real quick and see. Well, see, okay, so I guess here's what's stupid to me then. How are they going to take base game stuff for a previous sim game and then be like, you can have it as DLC in the next iteration of the game? How are they going to take base game content for a previous iteration in the series and then act like it's something you should have to pay for in the next one? That's a weird way to address that in my opinion. That seems stupid. Like if it's worth keeping, it's just worth keeping and putting into the next version of the game as a base part of the game. You know what I mean? That's odd. But I mean, it's EA, right? Yeah, yeah, it's really gross, dude. It's really gross. But I think it's good that we've got a new Sims like game coming. Competition's good. Hopefully, it'll make. It's Maxis, right? Is it still Maxis that does the Sims? Jesus, it's been so long, dude. Maxis developer EA Pub, right? That's who it was forever. Yep, Maxis and EA. Yeah, 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 yeah. Skill issue, Pinky. Skill issue. I'm playing, bro. I wouldn't have even gotten close to that. Were those all sword kills? Yeah, so Maxis and EA. Look at this. This is insane, dude. $1,144. But yeah, I mean that's nuts, dude. Like even if any of this was like base content for previous games, how is it just not naturally part of the game moving forward for the next iteration, you know? It's weird. Oh, for real? Oh, wild, dude. Okay. Yeah, I used to play whenever I was young, I played an amount of The Sims, dude, when I was young. It's been a very long time though. But hopefully competition here. We'll see what this is about. We've seen a little bit of it already, but not a lot. This is exciting, dude. The limited run game. I like limited run games. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, can you say have you played it? Have you played it, Davey? Play the demo. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've already got it. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. I think people that aren't long-term fans, long-time fans of that series, are gonna be fine with it. I think long-time true fans of Final Fantasy aren't gonna be real thrilled with that game. I can already tell that the game is well developed. Content's good, good writing. Um, it's not a Final Fantasy game, from what I understand. Even the really, really good critic reviews I've seen are like the RPG's basically been taken out of it, which means to me that's not a Final Fantasy game. And I'm pretty grossed out by the fact that Square did that. Instead of just coming up with some entirely new IP or finding another game that is an action combat based game that didn't, need RPG elements or whatever, they decided to take a long standing RPG game with a huge community of fans around it and strip the core of what the game's supposed to be about. And for a lot of us, that's just really, really disgusting, man. But I hope you enjoy it. Um, I probably won't ever play it. Yep. All right, let's stick with these articles. Yeah. Um, I just everything I mean, again, I've seen a lot of reviews. I've seen a lot of stuff on the game, and I think the content's really good. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it's not Final Fantasy, dude. To me, everything I've known, everything I've seen, everything I've watched, everything I know about the game is that it's not a Final Fantasy game at its core. Not a what we've known Final Fantasy games to be. And for me, it's just I don't want to buy into that. So I don't know. I know a lot of people like it. Even a lot of the critics that are rating it very, very high are like, man, everything's great about it. It's just very shallow RPG. That's not what. That's not what it is. That's not what it is, man. The game has changed plenty over the years. It's changed drastically over the years, and in large part, the community's embraced that. But at the core of what Final Fantasy games are, they've always been very deep RPG games, you know, and they've had very good RPG elements to them. And another thing about Final Fantasy games traditionally is that it's got the whole main quest, side quest stuff, and you finish all that up. They're usually pretty lengthy games that allow you to do a lot of grinding, and then you finish the game, even main story. You still have things that are like kind of world boss wise that you can continue to like flesh out and go after and stuff like that. And it seems like this game's just shallow on that front too. It just seems like they took this game and they took the core out of it, what Final Fantasy is traditionally and always has been, that a lot of us fell in love with Final Fantasy for through the years. And the core elements of what Final Fantasy always has been and that has drawn us to that game, they removed that. So it's not like this is the first time they've changed the game and everybody's like up in arms. They've changed the game drastically over the years. It's much better, Psych. It's much better, dude. Yeah, thanks. It's I still got little tinge, but it's better. I had a hard time getting to sleep last night, but whenever I finally slept, man, it ended up kind of getting away, which is nice. Yeah, thanks for asking, dude. That's not, and I think that that's not what people want. People don't want Final Fantasy to. People don't. I don't think people expect Final Fantasy to stay the same way for decades. That's not what people are But that's like, there are a lot of games that are long running series and have grown big fan bases over the years, right? And if companies change the core of what those games are and what those games are about, they lose a lot of that fan base. It happens. It happens. It's a risk. It's a risk. It's not a. I mean, we've seen it happen time and time again, and sometimes it can pay off, and sometimes it can. And again, I think this is a very well produced game. It just doesn't seem like a Final Fantasy game to me. So the fact that they just slapped Final Fantasy's name on it seems weird to me. It's just a Devil May Cry Bayonetta game, is what it is, with very very shallow RPG components. Not the kind of stuff you would have gotten in Final Fantasy games of the past, you know. And for me, that's not what I'm looking for out of a Final Fantasy game. So I just probably won't play it. And I think that's what some of the other fans of the series are feeling too. You know, the game's changed drastically over the years, though. It has, and a lot of people have embraced it, and they've been okay with it. They understand that games evolve and technology evolves, gaming evolves, and stuff. But core principles of certain games, in my opinion, beloved franchises, the core mechanics, core principles that have made the games what they are, maybe shouldn't be changed. You know, that's why I probably won't play it. But I hope you have a good time with it, dude. I do. Yeah. I think you will. I think most people are really enjoying it. You know. That was it, right? Yeah. Let's dive in here. We'll talk more about it when we get the article up. I've got an entire. I mean, I've already got. I think I published it last night. Actually, it's a quick YouTube video from another news segment where I kind of talk about it more in depth. So, I mean, to each their own. For me, it's just not what I expect a Final Fantasy game to be necessarily, and so it just doesn't appeal to me, man. That's it. Diablo 4 DDoS attack strikes again, a bitter deja vu for players. Forget boss battles. DDoS attacks are the real final boss in the gaming world. Or gravity. Or bad mounts. So what does this mean for the gaming industry? Another Diablo 4 DDoS attack hit the game again. Here's what we know right now. In the realm of online gaming, few titles have captured the hearts and souls of players quite like Diablo. With its immersive dark fantasy world, intense combat, and addictive loot-driven gameplay, the franchise has established itself as a pillar of the genre. However, in recent times, a shadow has been cast over the highly anticipated Diablo 4 as the game finds itself once again under siege from a malevolent force. On June 25th, today, players were met with a series of frustrating obstacles, including login issues, excruciatingly long queues, and an overall sense of chaos. While the developers have not yet released an official statement regarding the incident, the Diablo 4 community has come to a haunting realization their beloved game has fallen victim to yet another debilitating DDoS attack. We are currently experiencing a DDoS attack, which may result in high latency and disconnections for some players. We are actively working to mitigate this issue. Blog post aims to shed light on the unsettling events that unfold on June 25th, offering an overview of the reported issues and delving into the significance of DDoS attacks in the gaming industry. By examining the impact of such assaults on the Diablo 4 community and the broader implications they carry, we hope to provide a comprehensive understanding of the situation, foster a dialogue around the growing threat of DDoS attacks in online gaming. Dude, Blizzard gets hit every time they release a game, don't they? It's like gravity an enemy? Not for you, but for me, yes. Shut up. Diablo 4 DDoS attack, what is happening now? The deja vu is all too real for devoted Diablo fans who experienced a similar nightmare. Yeah, nice, like, nice. During the game's initial launch, memories of the past resurfaced as players struggle to connect. Their excitement overshadowed by a malicious assault on the servers. Once again, speculation runs rampant across the forums as players share their frustrations, concerns, and suspicions. While official confirmation is still awaited, the overwhelming consensus among the community is that Diablo 4 has fallen prey to another coordinated DDoS attack, leaving players to grapple with the repercussions. Apparently, this all started around 5 a.m. this morning, but it doesn't say what time zone that is. Sykes been on the work potty, dude. Yeah. If you don't know what DDoS attack is, man, distributed denial of service is what that stands for. Most of you probably know. Basically, it's just like basically Blizzard's Diablo 4 servers are being flooded with requests. That's all it is. Basically, a network of probably a bunch of bot computers have been set up to just constantly request and try to access the servers in so much capacity that the servers can't handle it. And so the servers just shut down. That is at the core a simplified explanation of what a DDoS attack is. So some group or a person, something, has decided to attack Blizzard's Diablo 4 servers in some capacity and in a DDoS attack, right? So they're flooding the servers with requests in so much that the servers actually can't handle it, and nobody else can actually get connected because it's just too much for the servers. So you see this happen all the time, and Blizzard gets hit all the flipping time. It's like every time they release a new game, they get hit. So usually it's a little bit closer to release. Not that we're a long ways away from, but it's been a couple weeks now since D4 hit, and usually you see a DDoS happen like right around release day. They've probably been trying to get this to happen for a while, and they finally figured out a way in. Whoever's doing this, but you know, Blizzard's notorious for getting hit. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If you want to read more on it. You guys are funny. Nintendo makes one of the best Switch games only $2. Only $2 for a limited time. And unlike some deals, this deal is not locked behind a Switch Online subscription, but rather is available to all Nintendo Switch users in North America. Oof, that's it? Only North America? As you may know, any Switch game that is priced over $2 on the eShop can't be discounted to anything cheaper than $2. So this is the cheapest the game could possibly get for the Switch. It's Inside. Inside and Limbo go on sale all the time, dude, for this amount. I was wondering if this is what this was going to be. I mean, it's a very good game. You're only going to get about 4 or 5 hours of gameplay out of this probably. But Inside and Limbo, same developer, very good games, both of them. And worth a play at that price point for sure. Check it out. I think those were actually given away not too long ago on Epic, weren't they? Were those given away on Epic? Do I have those? Yeah. There's Inside. Not Limbo. But on Epic, they gave away Inside. So you might already have it, on Epic, if you are a multi-platform gamer, before you decide to buy on Switch, unless you just want to have it on a mobile device, like the Switch, then $2 is still a good buy. And I don't think it's a large game either. So not a bad little title to have. And I'm willing to bet it plays very well on the Switch too. It's a nice little like 2.5D side-scrolling platformer game, But it's supposed to be very, very good. I haven't played it yet, but it's very highly rated too. So maybe go see that. Check that out. $2 is a good buy there. New Slender Man game is in development. The Arrival. Have we looked at this? New teaser by Slender the Arrival developer Blue Isle Studios suggests that a new Slender Man game is in development. 13-second teaser trailer doesn't give us much information on what the game entails, but a new countdown has appeared on the Slender Arrival website, suggesting an announcement next month. It's not a Slender Man, it's a Slender Child. What? Oh, dude, I thought it was going to pop up there. Slender the Arrival was first released on PC in 2013 and released on various platforms in the following years, including the PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Wii U. Slender the Arrival received mixed reviews, with critics praising its soundtrack, tense atmosphere, and scares, but also criticizing its shorter than expected campaign length and repetitive gameplay. However, the game saw a huge success with fans. Popular YouTubers uploaded various videos of the game that accumulated tens of millions of views. Whether the teaser suggests a new game, remaster, or remake remains to be seen, but whatever it is, we'll find out when the timer ends on July 28th. Interesting. Okay. Maybe a Scaretober game there, maybe. Xbox Game Pass subscribers slam embarrassing price increase. Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate are both seeing price increases on July 6th. First time since its inception, Game Pass will increase in price. Microsoft shared this news earlier this week, noting the standard version is increasing from $10 a month to $11 a month, while the Ultimate tier will increase from $15 to $17 a month. Yikers. Combination of the minuscule increase and the fact that this is the first increase so far was enough to keep most Xbox Game Pass subscribers pacified. However, some subscribers have been less understanding. While inflation and other various economic factors ensured this was inevitable, some Game Pass subscribers can't help but notice this came right as, in their opinion, the quality of the subscription service has dipped. That's what I was getting ready to say. This is a bad time for them to roll this out. But I'm also willing to bet I know why they did it right now, too. I'll give you guys one guess. Vault, hit me with it, dude. Come on, Vault. So that's why I think a lot of people no. What's getting ready to release, Doug? Yeah, dude. There you go. So this was my sentiment exactly, was like, this feels bad to raise the price right now whenever, dude, Xbox has had a rough past year and a half. Outside of maybe something like Hi-Fi Rush, it's been pretty bleak. It hasn't been a great show for Xbox and in their first party games and stuff, right? And I've said this for quite a while. The thing that sets apart Xbox in their Game Pass subscription service from other subscription services is that you get day one releases, right? Their Ultimate service, you get day one first party games that on that subscription service. But again, over the past year and a half, it's been really bleak, right? Just bought 3 months yesterday. Nice, dude. Nice. I love it. Oh, evil. You know what's so funny, dude, is that I made that emote, dog, and that's like one of the highest used emotes in the channel, and it was really just Psych, I think. Me and Psych were just joking around because I used to do like the Doctor Evil thing every once in a while, you know. And he was like, "You should do that, but put like Palpatine's cloak on you." And so I literally went and did that. And it's like we turned it into OA Evil, and it gets used all the time. It's so funny, dude. It's all these things that I didn't figure would like pan out to be like really popular things for the channel that people ended up like really enjoying it. It's so funny the way that works. Um, so I think people have some a bit of a right to be upset here. The subscription service itself has not really been rolling out great new content. Now, they do a pretty solid job on the constant of rolling out new titles twice a month. They always take titles off, you know, so it's but as far as what people usually buy into this service, especially the ultimate tier for being their day one releases, it's been pretty rough at least over the past year, if not year and a half. But there's a reason why they're doing this right now, and it's Starfield, in my opinion. Um, Starfield is going to have a lot of people buying in to the subscription service, whether it be as a first-time subscriber or re-upping after being gone or just continuing because of Starfield. Whatever the case may be for people, their subscription numbers are going to rise significantly whenever Starfield releases. And so, we talked about yesterday, we saw an article about, Wick, what's up, Doug? We saw an article about Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls has been kind of a hot topic here lately because PlayStation fans are throwing a fit, and, which is weird. But even outside of that, it was like Microsoft's like, well, we don't know if it's going to be first party or not. Elder Scrolls is going to be first party. It would take something drastic for that game to not be first party for Xbox. And this is one of the reasons, because it's going to be a huge motivator for people to buy into their subscription service, which is that's their big money maker, man. But I mean, we're like 5+ years away from that game probably, but I mean, it's just, this is the way this works, right? So, I mean, five years from now, whenever Elder Scrolls 6 comes out or is about to come out, will we see this jump up another $2? Can I call that right now? 5 years from now, you know what I mean? Yo, I'm bringing this article or this clip back up in 5 years if it happens. If they raise price right before Elder Scrolls releases, I'm bringing this back up. I'm gonna blow the world's mind. But I mean, that's just business strats, dude. But subscribers have I think that they're, I don't know. It's warranted, man. They have a right to be upset about this because they haven't been getting great content, first party stuff out of Xbox for a little while now. Do what? What's going on? That's funny, dude. Yeah, yeah. Why hate? All love, dude. Yeah. Oh, the Thug Life glasses. Thanks, man. I didn't even see it. I don't need to hear that kind of crap from you, dude, after I've already apologized and said I was wrong, and you can't even get through the tutorial, dog. All right? Don't come at me like that. Don't come at me like that. I'm so tired of you. You were up till 2 a.m. on Stardew. Dude, Wick is hooked. Wick is hooked on Stardew. Yikers. Yeah, I couldn't. I had a hard time getting to sleep last night too. Man, my head was just crushing all day yesterday, dude. Yeah, it was a bad one, man. I had a bad headache yesterday, and it finally I finally got to sleep last night, and I feel much better this morning. But man, it was a rough day. I haven't had a headache like that in a while. Over on the Xbox Game Pass Reddit page, the number one comment on a post relaying the news, which is to say the comment with the most votes up, says, expected but still sad, especially since, in my humble opinion, the quality of the service got worse. Not only did the metric ton of votes up the comment got signal many agree with the sentiment, but many of the other comments echo the sentiment as well. Game Pass was a great deal, especially if you have PC to go with the Xbox selection, but 3 months of indies and games like Redfall with the one or two bangers sprinkled in isn't going to cut it for nearly $20 a month, reads one of the additional comments. At that rate, it makes more sense to cut the sub on and off depending on what gets added. Just my 2 cents. Dude. Yeah, agreed. Sorry, bro. Yeah, dude. I mean, I've only utilized Game Pass when it benefited me. I don't do a constant subscription. I've only utilized. I do the same thing with other subscriptions too. Like for instance, like I have some subscription services that are recurring. We use them a lot, but then there'll be other ones like maybe like take for instance like HBO. Every once in a while, man, there'll be a good HBO show or a movie that'll come out, and I'm like, oh man, I want to binge. I want to binge watch like Game of Thrones. You know, like an entire season of Game of Thrones would come out or whatever, and I would just grab 1 month of HBO and just binge watch the crap out of it and then be done with it. You know, I think that's the way a lot of people. I think that's where Xbox is kind of losing out here because I think a lot of people have the same sentiment as what this quote was. Right? There's just, or I guess this was more of the beginning of it. Yeah, it's just it's not worth for most people because there's not enough good content being put on. So at the moment, it feels better for people to just like if there's enough in a month hitting that feels like you're gonna get your money's worth, buy that month, but then just don't re-up or whatever. I think that's the way a lot of people are looking at this, right? Quote, it's crazy they have the audacity to raise prices with the embarrassing offerings they've been adding. Like I said, I know they're doing it because Starfield's coming, man. So far, the criticism of the price increase has been sparse enough that it hasn't drawn any type of response from Xbox. You may think they would never comment or walk back the decision purely because of fan feedback, but that's exactly what they did last time they tried to increase the price of Xbox Live Gold. Everyone got angry, then Xbox reverted on the decision. The key that time, though, was everyone. The Game Pass price increase has not evoked the same response. I truly believe the biggest catalyst behind the price rise here is Starfield hitting. They know it's going to bring a lot of people into the subscription service. We're not that far away. Limited Run Game Showcase happening July 12th. Limited Run Games doesn't really develop their own video games. Their main mission is to actually publish physical releases of video games from other companies that had been only available digitally. I'm actually wondering if they're going to do an Alan Wake. So Alan Wake has already, by the publisher, has already been announced that Alan Wake will only be a digital game, right? But I think I'm kind of hoping Limited Run Games will do something cool for Alan Wake too. This can include indie games, but every once in a while, this can also include third-party companies like Ubisoft and Konami. Range of consoles they support include the Switch, PS4, PS5 retro consoles, and more. Seems we may be hearing more soon. Limited Run Games has announced they will be doing a presentation showcase on July 12th at 4 p.m. Eastern. So we'll be ending our stream that day. What day is the 12th, dude? Oh, no. Oh, suck. Dude, that's a Wednesday. Ooh. We'll watch it the next day. I'll be off that day. I won't be streaming that day. Yeah, go take a smoothie nap, Wick. I won't be streaming that day. We'll have to watch the VOD the next day. We will watch the VOD of it, though. As for the games, all we know is that there will be 20 plus digital and physical announcements. See the announcement tweet down below. We'll keep track. We'll see it. We'll find out once it hits. Couple weeks, few weeks. Okay. I hadn't seen Final Fantasy being review bombed at all until right now. This is the first I'd seen on this. Actually, everything I had seen up till now, Final Fantasy 16 had been getting reviewed very well. I think that everything I had seen, again, I've got a video out there right now about what I had seen, what I've seen about the game, what I've seen of the game, what I've read of reviews, critic reviews. The game seems to be very well developed. It's apparently good writing, good characters, a great setting. Gameplay's fun. But apparently it's not necessarily a Final Fantasy game. And I think that might be where this review bombing's coming in at. And I was kind of talking a little bit ago with our buddy Davey here about it. And for anybody that might go, well, this is just the evolution of gaming, or how come, Final Fantasy fans don't want the game to change or whatever. That's not the case. The game has changed plenty over the years. But the core of what Final Fantasy is it's always been an RPG. And it seems like now they've taken the RPG out of the game. So there's a lot of other things you can change about a game like Final Fantasy. As gaming evolves, it's moved away from turn-based. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other things that have like changed about the way this game used to be through the years, the decades. It's evolved with gaming, but there are certain core aspects of what this series always has been that I don't think you can change without a lot of backlash and having people just quit being fans of the series. I think what you're going to do is, what I've heard is that this is more of just an action combat game. Like something like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta or what are some other ones, dude? I don't know. Darksiders, something like that. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's very well developed, but it's just got pretty bleak RPG elements to it, which is not what a lot of traditional Final Fantasy fans expect out of a title, out of a Final Fantasy title. Yeah, and Wick, I even critic ratings that are rating it high are saying how good the game feels, how well it's developed and stuff, but that the RPG side of it's not there anymore, which is, for a lot of Final Fantasy fans, a huge letdown. So I think that's probably why it's getting. Yeah, it looks great. I agree. I probably won't ever play it, just because it's weird to me that they did that, like, to this series. Seems easily repetitive. Yeah, I've heard a little bit of that. The other thing, so Final Fantasy games traditionally have also had this element of a decent amount of length to them, right? Where it's like you've got side quest stuff, you've got main quest stuff, and you can pursue whichever you want and take as much time as you want. And even if you finish the main game, you can still pursue other things. You finish the main stuff, and there's a lot of really good, hard, grindable end game or end game content that you can continue to pursue. And from what I understand, there's not a lot of that in this game. which is something else that I think is going to be a turnoff if that is in fact the case. I haven't played it, but this is just things that I'm coming to understand from other people's word of mouth and reading reviews and things of that nature. I don't deny the fact. I mean, everything I'm reading is that the game's very well developed. It looks great. It plays well. But I don't think it's a Final Fantasy game. I think it's a game that they took Final Fantasy summons from. They threw them in this game. They slapped the Final Fantasy name on it, and they took the core elements of what Final Fantasy's always been and they removed it. So it's not really a Final Fantasy game. But some people are going to be okay with that. A lot of other people are not. I'm not one of those people that's going to be looking to play this game. It's not what I've known Final Fantasy to be through the years, and it doesn't appeal to me personally. Final Fantasy 16 is currently being review bombed, with its overall user score sitting at 6.8 compared to its 88 critic score. Final Fantasy 16 has earned rave reviews from critics so far, with many hailing it as one of the best main series Final Fantasy games to date. However, there is some controversy surrounding the game, mainly pertaining to the fact that it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive release. God dang, dude. Really? Even though Final Fantasy 13 and 15 released on Xbox the same day that the games came to PlayStation, Final Fantasy 16 is a PS5 exclusive for at least 6 months. Dude, this is not going to hit anything else until probably, at the very earliest, a year. But I'd say probably a couple years later. We probably won't see this on like PC for 2 years or so. And even at that, look, man, Square Enix is a terrible company at porting games over to PC. So I would say just, even when it does release, maybe wait and see what it feels like. No plans for an Xbox port of Final Fantasy 16 have been announced at the time of this writing, but Square does have a PC port of the critically acclaimed game on the way that will potentially arrive at some point in 2024. I can't believe it's getting review bombed for being a PS5 exclusive. Jesus. People just need to shut up, man. It seems Final Fantasy 16's PS5 exclusivity is the main reason why people are bombarding it with 0 out of 10 user reviews on Metacritic. Yeah, with some going as far to claim there's some kind of conspiracy by the gaming media to give it high review score simply because it's a PS5 exclusive. A couple of the accounts that left a 0 out of 10 score for the game on Metacritic gave ill-fated Xbox console exclusive Redfall. Oh, gross. A 10 out of 10. Yuck. Which is more evidence supporting that particular theory. Yeah, okay. Well, I didn't expect this. There are some negative reviews who aren't happy about Final Fantasy XVI's action-oriented combat system, wishing the franchise would have stuck to its turn-based roots. Others aren't happy with the pacing of the story or aren't impressed with some of the side content. Professional reviews have been almost entirely positive, with many hailing it as yet another potential Game of the Year contender alongside games like Street Fighter VI and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Final Fantasy 16 reviews have praised the game's cutting-edge graphics, exciting battles, and gripping story. It seems nearly every big game released nowadays finds itself targeted review bombing campaign. I like the fact they left out how many critic reviews are actually talking about how they removed the RPG elements out of this game too. But I mean, a lot of the critic reviews that I had been reading were that outside of that, the game was pretty solid. But I did actually read this a lot. I'd seen a lot of even high rated critic reviews that were talking about maybe some lackluster or side content, and the fact that the game just maybe paces too quickly in relation to traditional Final Fantasy games stuff. That's some of the stuff I was already talking about. But this is one of those things that's weird for me about Metacritic, though. And sometimes it's hard to tell. I put more stock in Metacritic reviews whenever the critic reviews and the user reviews are closer together. Let's look at this real quick. It's so weird whenever they're so far apart, you know? Because that does show there's something weird going on. but it's hard to determine quite often too. Like what exactly is that? I mean, is it okay? So the user review score has come up now. It's come up. It's at a 7.7. It's not up where the critic review is, right? I can't stand this crap. This is also another thing. Look, anything that is a 10, I don't look at, or 100, I don't look at. Anything that's a 0, I don't look at. Like, yeah, we already knew that it was. I'll read this though. This is another thing that is like, we already knew this too. This game was only supposed to be about what, 30 to 35 hours long, and of that, it was like 12 to 15 hours of cutscenes. That's also not Final Fantasy, dude. You know, something like that is what they were saying before it released. But um, I'll need more time to see what other people are saying about how much time they're getting in the game, how the end game feels. I'm just going off of early feedback right now, you know? See, like this 80 right here. Yeah. Dude, yeah. TOTK, what's that? Exactly, dude. Final Fantasy 16 is a more of an evolution than a revolution. It's an ode to the license, a reinterpretation of the myth as rarely seen, and a spectacular game. It's an accomplished modern vision, an assertive turn to action with near perfect gameplay, but which has almost nothing left of an RPG. Which is going to be a turnoff to people that are traditional fans of what Final Fantasy has always been, like myself. If I wanted to play an action combat game, there are plenty of those out there for me to play. I don't look to play Final Fantasy to play just a watered down super light RPG with action combat. That's not what I look for. It's never what I've looked for in a Final Fantasy game. So it just doesn't appeal to me, man. It's probably a good game, but for me, it's just not going to be there. But I'll see what Davey thinks of it. Davey's apparently going to buy it and play it, and I'm always looking for feedback. You know, it's like D4. Probably won't end up playing D4. If I ever do, it'll probably be a long, quite a ways in the future. So I've had to rely on the community for feedback on that. This doesn't appeal to me. Not that I even have a PS5 because just the console market has gotten so gross to me. Ugh. But even if it came out on PC, I probably won't look to play this. So I'll just be looking more for the community to give me feedback if anybody plays it on how you feel about it, and maybe where if you know the interpretations I'm getting the off of early reviews and feedback are maybe a bit off or whatever, you know, because it could be. That's so stupid though. Look, there are so many people that are getting like their undies in a wad, dude, about proprietary games now. It's really weird. We've seen a lot of it here lately. Petitions going out about Starfield being only Xbox and PC, and now Final Fantasy's getting review bombed for only being PS5. Dude, why all of a sudden has this become like, where are all these video game Karens coming from? Dude, I agree, it sucks, but this has been going on forever. Sorry, you're not going to be able to change it. It's just, it sucks. In perfect world, dude, we would just, all games would be on all platforms, or better yet, there wouldn't be any specific, it would just be an open platform without a like, kind of like PC is. Like, PC doesn't have an owner, right? It's just got components and stuff, hardware makers and stuff like that, to where there's not like a dedicated owner of it, you know. Whereas it gets kind of, that's where the console market's gotten gross, because Microsoft owns Xbox, and you know, Sony owns PlayStation, and Nintendo, you know, has got their thing, and they've set themselves up for these really weird situations where they try to get over on consumers and stuff, because they've got people locked into these platforms, and it's, they just do so much scummy stuff. But you know, I mean, that's not the world we live in, and this is never going to go away. All these platforms are going to continue to do proprietary first party games, and it's weird that people just, I mean, I guess, you know, if people don't, I'll say it's not a bad thing to bring up the issue of it sucking, but to maybe like review bomb a game, that's not necessarily fair either, right? I think there are better ways to bring up the issue of what might be happening here with the proprietary game issue, and games not being on every platform, and than just review bombing a game, because that's not fair to the developer and the publisher and stuff like that, you know. Now all the people that worked their butts off on that game. So, not that it should just be an overlooked issue or anything, but there's better ways, I guess, to go about addressing it. Yeah. Yeah, there's like a total of 50 people, right? Yeah, dude. Yo, they got Wick in this game. Look, zombie survival game Vane announced for Xbox. New development update shared. They literally put Wick in the game. Check it out. Except he doesn't have his green skin. His green troll skin. What is this? Dude, are you guys seeing this? Can you see this over? Janitor. You were contracted to clean offices. +4 immunity, +4 vitality, +4 scavenging, +4 sociability, and +4 dismantling. And there's like mechanic, musician, park ranger, police officer, politician, salesperson, thief. Today, the developers at Ramjet Studios released a new video about their post-apocalyptic zombie survival game, Vane. Biggest news is possibly the developers have reached a deal with Microsoft for a release on Xbox. Vane will launch on Xbox Series X and S once it officially releases on Steam. The video also showcases a lot of interesting updates made to the game, albeit they have not been released to the public just yet. We get to see new occupations for players, musical instruments that can be used as weapons, new zombie models, changes made to the vehicles and buildings, and much more. Watch it below. What is this, dude? No. We'll be starting to play this week, dude. Yeah, we'll be starting to play this week. We're trying to get schedules set. We got a lot of other stuff. We're like juggling schedules around, trying to find the best time to start working on getting a day each week.
There's no release with this devlog or with any other devlog for that
but it's I think we got it figured out, so it'll be this week. We're gonna start it.
On to what we've been up to in the last month. We've added 4 new occupations to characters. The first, the conspiracy theorist, wasn't quite on board with this whole zombie thing early on in the apocalypse. The second, the musician, comes equipped with their
zombie.
Guitar. The third,
play the guitar, zombie.
Gains a bonus with speech, and finally, the college student is still trying to figure it out. Occupations in the character create menu, as you can now see, now affect your character preview. We'll probably add some other features to this, like an animation or loadout preview.
Excuse me.
We've added vegetarian and vegan uniquenesses. These characters get stressed from hurting animals or eating meat. We've added blood
vegan, dude.
If your character has a deep wound or is scratched, it'll physically show on your character.
It looks like flipping
weapons that are breakable now smash into pieces.
H1Z1, dude.
Sort of added accidentally as a joke. I wanted to smash a guitar over a zombie's head, but it feels incredibly satisfying, so we added it to most melee weapons where it makes sense. We've made insulation values visible on clothes. These were always a feature of clothing. Wearing clothing will heat your character, but now we physically show you how much it'll heat you. We think a lot of features like this are sort of hidden away, but we'd like to promote their visibility.
Yeah, psych, yeah, dude.
We've added a couple new.
He's got a trumpet. Shut your flipping man, bro's got a violin and a trumpet.
Painkillers. It was long overdue.
You gotta play the trumpet at him.
The item repair system has been designed and is work in progress. You'll use a special repair workbench to select items that are damageable. When selected, you'll see a list of ingredients required to repair the item, usually scrap. If you have the ingredients, the item can be repaired, and the amount of damage reduced depends on your character's repair stat. Hopefully this will be complete for the next update. You'll also be able to repair items directly in your inventory, but the repairs will be of lesser quality. Kerosene and kerosene heaters now exist. Kerosene heaters can be built from the construction menu and require kerosene to burn. They will heat an area more efficiently than other methods, and of course, do not depend on electricity. Azzy, working diligently for the last few months, has completed the new building system. We've kept this mostly under wraps, but at this point Azzy is able to place a fully furnished and decorated house in a matter of seconds, leaving the detail work of the exterior and the landscape as the bulk of the map work, as well as unique and interesting building development. Upon completion of that system over a single weekend, they established the layout and contents of our new Redford area, with most buildings going down in a day. This new iteration of Redford, once completed, will contain approximately 83 residential buildings as well as various civic and industrial buildings, including a radio tower, post office, various warehouses, a church, and more. For a size comparison, the old Redford had 23 residential buildings. We're super excited to present this in the next event update as the start of our new main map. We've added some randomizations to building materials. We're not really sure where this is going to go, but for now buildings in-game randomize when the game starts. Elevation now causes your character to become colder, so you'll need to dress warmly for cold weather. We'd like to disclose, though, that the values we've used for the temperature decrease aren't completely realistic, but we thought it adds to the gameplay to exaggerate it a bit. In addition, making the temperaure decrease less realistically simulates other factors in feeling colder on mountains, like wind exposure. Radiator and AC systems now have effects in buildings. Radiators currently are powered by either electricity or natural gas. Natural gas tanks can be found attached to some buildings, and right now can't be refilled or siphoned from, but we're going to change that very soon. At the very least, they function without electricity. Similarly, AC systems
That's
are powered
wild,
primarily by
dude.
electricity
It
and
looks
will
like they're
cause
trying to
heat
make
rise
this
if the power is
pretty
cut.
fleshed out, dude.
We've added a system for remote code locks for doors. Doors can be locked or unlocked from panels located elsewhere in the same building. The map has received powered containers. Some examples of these are electronically locked cases or online delivery PO boxes. They require power to function, and if no power is found, they can't be opened or used. We've added bulletproof glass to buildings. These can only be shattered from explosives right now. As base building develops, we'll create systems to non-chaotically remove it. We've added run animations to weapons. These are pretty simple, but it's a part of the process in improving our art bit by bit. We've added volumetric clouds to the sky. These have a physical presence and grow during cloudy or stormy weather. They'll diffuse the sun and, thankfully, have little cost to performance. We finally tossed out our placeholder zombies in favor of new, procedurally generated ones based on our human character. These are as controllable as our human base, including weight, facial features, hairstyles, clothes, etc. This means it's exceptionally unlikely that any two zombies
That little zombie has a mohawk, dude. There's a bunch of zombies with mohawks.
The
Sick.
zombie will look identical to them. Vehicles now require oil to run. As a vehicle runs, clean oil is turned into dirty oil, which must be changed regularly. If a vehicle runs out of clean oil, the engine parts will quickly degrade. Oil is drained from a vehicle if the vehicle is flipped over or underwater, so avoid doing that. Also, don't oil an engine with gasoline or other explosive fluids. We've added an ATV to the
Wild.
game. It's lightweight.
So you can basically like
Unfortunately, it only fits one person right now and doesn't have any storage or radio.
you can like
It's the most
booby
fun I've
trap
had with the vehicle
vehicles.
so far, though.
So if you just had like some
Vehicles being able to function underwater.
what?
Vehicles that go underwater will stop the flow of oxygen into the engine, halting any combustion.
Wrong.
They'll start if they can be moved out of the water, though.
If you had the wrong type of fuel or like
We've
combustible
also
or whatever.
fixed a very long-standing bug
Yeah.
where zombies would seemingly summon superhuman strength
Yeah,
and push
probably.
vehicles
But we'll
themselves.
just have to see what happens. So you get like
We added the ability to refill
booby
gas
trap
tanks from
vehicles
food
by
containers.
putting
I
like
thought for sure I'd implemented this already, but
a
devs do make
different-
mistakes sometimes.
rather than like
We've added new
fuel. You put some other combustible
This firstly gives vehicles more
in there that's not supposed to be in there, and it'll like blow people up or whatever if you're in multiplayer. That'd be wild. Just like put a vehicle out in front of a building and just wait for people to hop in there. Put a sub in the water. Well, they would need to get a. Did you guys see what I posted in Discord?
The top left corner of most keyboards as a console key.
Speaking of subs,
some players like rebinding it. Thanks to the community for suggesting this one.
In the main channel,
give item list.
It's the last thing in the main channel. I posted it yesterday.
This will be useful for testing stuff like entire outfits or groups of items. Well,
might be too soon.
We've done some optimizations to the game. Performance testing the new map had me hitting 120 frames per second normally and 700 frames per second with the lowest possible settings. That said, I want to admit that I do have a 4080, so your mileage may vary with respect to your device's setup.
Oh no. Oh, I thought I was going to start doing the spin, dude. I was like, oh please.
It's frustrating many players, and unless another bug is found,
game can only be played with a Logitech controller. Dude, Logitech is catching so much crap right now, it's not even their fault.
Steam compression issues.
It's so stupid.
Updates to the game should be a bit smaller now. Players on
their stock's like getting obliterated. It's like, dude,
too many giant updates.
They make gaming controllers,
but hopefully this should prevent a lot of
gaming peripherals. You know what I mean? It's like, what? It's not their fault that some idiot decided to use. What is it?
That
was awesome.
Series S and X once we've released on Steam. We're super excited to get Vane in front of more players.
Looked like it was like attached to the back of the ATV, dude.
So that's it for Devlog 8. I hope you've enjoyed it. We appreciate all the support that we've received, and we're lucky to have such a good-natured community. Vane is a game we really like working on, so it's a win-win.
This is the first I've really heard of this game.
We don't know when Devlog 9 is going to be out, or the next Vane update for that matter, but either way, we're making progress every day. Until next time.
Obviously, compatibility fault on their side. Yeah, my bad. My bad. He's throwing canned tomatoes at her, Doug. Oh, man. That might be a wild little game. Yeah. It's been defined by many as a hybrid between Project Zomboid and 7 Days to Die. Currently being provided as a free demo on Steam to anyone who wants to play while the game is being developed. Definitely an interesting alternative to paid early access. Has gained the game many fans. If you're unfamiliar with the game, you can read a list of features below. We probably just touched on a lot of them in the video, but yeah, that's cool, man. Free demo right now. Sick. Let me know if anybody tries it. There you go. Oh. Yo, let's check this out. Fallout 4 showcase with NVIDIA's DLSS 3 frame generation. I haven't seen anything diving into the specifics of how this technology has been performing as of late. It's been a while since I've seen anything on it. Modern Pure Dark has released a video showcasing Fallout 4 running with NVIDIA's DLSS 3 frame generation. DLSS 3 frame generation can double performance in Fallout 4, allowing PC gamers to enjoy constant 60 frames on various PC configurations. I thought frame gen was only for 4000 series cards, dude. Am I right? Am I tripping? Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Supported by 4000 series GPUs. That's what I thought. So it's only the 4000 series GPUs that can actually run this. Yeah. They're the only ones right now that have this technology embedded in them. In case you did not know, Fallout 4 is a heavy CPU game, especially if you mod it. Thus, DLSS 3 can significantly improve performance in it. Moreover, and since the game is locked at 60 frames, PC gamers won't notice any major latency issues or visual glitches. You can't play Fallout 4 at anything higher than 60 frames? I don't believe that. You should be able to just go into your NVIDIA settings and crank that up, right? Maybe they're just talking about default settings through the game itself, but you should be able to. Pure Dark did not share the specs of the PC system he used. Without DLSS 3, the game was dropping to the mid-50s in various scenes. By enabling DLSS 3, the modder was able to do to double performance, see the actual FPS number, get a constant 60 frames experience. Fallout's engine's tied to frame rate makes it wonky. Really. I haven't played a Fallout game since flipping Fallout 3, and I played that on console. I played that on PS3. So, interesting, Vault. Okay, why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised, dude? At the Bethesda-ness, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, there's no ETA on when this mod will be come available. For those wondering, the DLSS 3 mods. So wait, but more frame rate, faster animations. Right. So, but was the same engine used on Fallout New Vegas? Because it's not the same dev, right? Didn't Obsidian do New Vegas? Okay, so creation engine was still the same one used on New Vegas. I thought it looked the same, but I just wanted to make sure. But didn't Obsidian do New Vegas? Right. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, Vault. Yeah, that's what I thought. I remembered that. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Isn't it funny that out of all the Fallout games, the one that's considered the GOAT is the one that Bethesda didn't dev? Did you guys realize that? The Fallout game that's considered to be the best Fallout game ever is the only one that Bethesda hasn't done. Fallout New Vegas is actually developed by Obsidian. Also, your favorite? It's most people's favorite. Yeah, we're gonna play it. We're gonna play it this year. Unfortunately, there is currently no ETA on when this mod will become available. For those wondering, the DLSS 3 mods for The Last of Us Part 1, Jedi Survivor, Elden Ring, and Skyrim are still behind a Patreon wall. Let's see this real quick. Sorry, good night. System starting up. Where's your... Oh, dude, it's hard to see, actual FPS. Attention, Commonwealth residents. There it is, right there. You can see my mouse. It's like right under my, my camera right here. But now he's about to turn on DLSS frame generation. So if you didn't see before, oh, it's showing host FPS and actual FPS. Interesting. All right, check this out. Let's start this over. Look at the frames here. Now that it's more visible, right? Yo, who wrecked my connection? Vault. What is this crap? Hello?
System starting up. Loading profile.
All right, you should be able to see it now.
Active.
It's small. It's hard to see, you guys, but it's like dropping between like mid 40s to 60. It's like fluxing really bad. No worries, dude. Can you just leave him alone, though, dude? You're not trying to disarm a bomb or anything, man. It's, you know, all the cables are fine. So you can see, yeah, it's like it's fluxing between I wonder what CPU they're running on this too. Now they're turning on the DLSS frame generation. If you didn't see that, host FPS is up at 60, and then the actual FPS is like fluxing between about 110 and 120. That was stuttery. Holy crap. Interesting. I think the thing that's tough here is that like we literally don't know what this PC's running, right? I mean, you would assume that if they're running a 4000 series card, they have to be running a 4000 series card to be running DLSS 3. I think that's the requirement. But if this game is very CPU intensive, then you know your frames are going to also heavily depend on how good of a CPU you're running as well, and we have no idea what kind of CPU they're running there. So I don't know, but it's interesting. The thing that I would like to see is what we saw before with the frame generation stuff originally was side by sides of the actual frame, like a frame of the true game itself, and then a side by side of the frame generation AI stuff, right? And this was in Spider-Man, and it was good, but it wasn't great. There was a lot of additional effects and stuff that were lost in basically every other frame. So it was while it was not going to be super noticeable because it's like every other frame, and especially if you're running a really high frame rate, right? You're not going to be missing a whole lot of that. It's not going to show as much, but it felt like the technology still needed some improvement. It needed a bit more time to bake and get fleshed out a little bit, you know. But I mean, it's good technology. It's going to be great for offloading resources on hardware and stuff. I think it needs a bit more work on NVIDIA's part, maybe, to get it fully fleshed out. But it's good. I mean, it's good stuff. Here you go. New Sims-like game Life by You shows human needs in new trailer. Paradox Interactive and Tectonic Studio shared another gameplay trailer of their upcoming simulation game Life by You. This new trailer focuses on one of the most common aspects of a Sims-like game, which is fulfilling the needs of your human, including sleeping, eating, socializing, going to the bathroom, and much more. You can check out the video below. How to manage your needs.
Hello everyone, it's Rocio, Life by You Community Manager, and today we're going to be going over our humans'
Here you go,
needs.
you
Today,
Sims
our
lovers.
subject is
Here's
Vito.
your new Sims
Right
game.
Now his needs are met, but I'm about
That way you
to
can get
mess
away
all of
from
that up. Before we get started, you
playing
can
EA
choose
stuff,
needs up
dude.
or down if you'd like. We wanted to make that as easy as possible. Now back to our tired Vito. We don't have time for you right now, Marielle. Vito really needs a nap. All I have to do is click on the bed and tell him to go to sleep. This is just an example, and I don't want to actually watch him sleep this whole time, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this and then cheat his sleep back up. And just like that, Vito is ready for the next need. Going in order, let's take a look at his food need. Much like sleep, it's pretty straightforward. He will eat in order to satisfy this. Let's go ahead and grab a quick snack from the
Dude,
fridge.
checking the fridge? That's literally me right
Pretty well
there.
stocked with
It's like all I
groceries.
do.
Let's get some blueberries and
And I love
maybe
blueberries.
now that I've gone ahead and put these in his inventory, I can go to his inventory and eat directly from there. This is more of a snack, so he can go ahead and eat this on his person instead of sitting down. And you can see it filling up his need down below. He can also make himself a full meal and sit down.
I
and
mean,
eat
it looks
like you see
very,
here,
very
and this
Sims,
will
doesn't it?
also fill up his food need. And of course, the downside here is that he will have to do dishes after this.
Salmon stir fry. That sounds
Short
amazing.
and simple, to the point. He has to use the toilet, so he uses the toilet. And we are keeping this
Oh, no cake.
friendly. But now we're going to go a little bit out of order because while we're here, let's go ahead and look at the other needs that the bathroom can address. The simplest way to
Oh,
deal
bro,
with
they do the
hygiene
same
is,
exact
first, to
thing
take
as
a
The
shower.
Sims. That's
There are
funny.
a few ways to censor your humans. In this case, he's blurred out, but I'm going to go ahead and give him some privacy anyway. And with that, his hygiene bar is fully filled again. The bathroom has a bunch of other ways to improve your hygiene. That includes taking a bath, taking a bubble bath, which also improves your fun, as you might see here. There are also several activities at the bathroom sink which improve your hygiene. This includes putting on deodorant for when your human is a little bit extra smelly. This includes combing your hair, as well as shaving. While we're at home, let's go ahead and deal with the drink need. There are, of course, several ways to get a drink in, but let's go with the two easiest. Much like I did as a child, we could have Vito drink directly from the sink. It's not the most hygienic, but it gets the job done. Another easy way to keep your drink need satisfied is to go ahead and get water from the fridge, as you see Vito doing here. Let's save fun for last and find someone to talk to for this social need. Zooming out here, let's go ahead and find the closest person to talk to. Let's go over and introduce ourselves. I'm going to speed up the walk over and get Vito socializing ASAP. You've all seen the dialogue feature before, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically, socializing with folks increases your social. We are continuing to add and edit to existing features that you've already seen before.
That's nice that they
So
made it
here
where
we
you
have a
can
new conversation camera angle,
turn that camera
and I
off
currently have
if
the
it's like
conversation percentages on, so I
being
can sort of see
obstructed.
what the outcome might be. Whether the conversation is
That's
friendly,
good
romantic,
quality of life right
antagonistic,
there.
it will add to the social
How many people
need
just like
fulfillment,
are hanging out in
so
their
I'm gonna
house
go
though,
ahead
and
be
you
a
like
little
look
bit
out your
lenient.
window and you see somebody walking out there on the
I'm gonna
sidewalk
go
you
ahead
don't
and
know,
wrap up that
and you're like,
conversation, and from here, Vito
I
actually
need some
decides
interaction.
to go to the lounge by himself, and I'm gonna take
Let's
this
go talk to them.
opportunity to help fulfill his fun. Let me
He
also
just
take
bust
this
out of
as
your
an
house.
opportunity to wish
Hey,
a
hey!
happy belated Go Skateboarding Day to all
Let's
who
talk.
celebrate. Needless to say,
maybe
there
more
are
people
tons
should
of
do
ways
that,
to
you know?
improve the fun need.
Get to know
Since
one
Vito
another.
made his way to the Ivy Lounge, I think he should go ahead and dance. While Vito is grooving, his
Can't
need
do it
is
in America
improving,
anymore,
and
that's for sure.
dancing is also good for
You
his
approach
mood
anybody
because it's
nowadays,
happiness
you're liable
hormone.
to get flipping.
Another fun
shot or
activity
stabbed
is building
or-
a sandcastle. So
insane,
luckily
dude.
the beach is right across the street. Let's go ahead and get Vito over there. Building a good sandcastle takes time, so I'm going to speed that up as well. And from having a good time at the beach, Vito's fun is basically full. If his fun was still low, I can keep building that sandcastle too. There are ways to improve your fun at home. You don't have to go out. One of my personal favorites is to watch
Bro, they need
movies,
a new
so we're gonna
entertainment
go ahead
center.
and have Vito watch an action movie on his couch. Just like real life, there are other ways to fulfill your needs. For example, here at the gym,
Oh, it's time to
meditation
work
can add
out.
to your
I work
rest, and I
out.
will leave you with that. As
That's my
always,
kind of
thanks
workout
so
right
much for
there.
watching.
Lay in the sun on a mat like a cat, dude, and just take a nap. That's my kind of workout right there. Life by You will release an early access on Steam and the Epic Game Store for PC on September 12th. The game's development is led by the studio's general manager, Rod Humble, whom you may know for his works on the Sims franchise and Second Life. It shows. It's a very Sims game. The game was teased during an event a few months ago and then fully revealed a couple of weeks later with the first trailer. We also saw another gameplay video showing how you can manually control your human and even drive a car around town, on top of one showing how you can add, remove, and customize humans in your town, one showcasing the building tools, another showing how to construct a house from scratch, and one focusing on nature. If you're interested in simulation games, Paradox and Colossal Order also announced City Skylines' successor, City Skylines 2, during the same event. That's coming to PC, Xbox Series XS, and PS5 in 2023, including Game Pass. If you need more, I'll link it. There you go. Yep, that was the last article. Because we already hit on this. So that's the jam. That's the jam. I got a little sunburnt yesterday. Look at that. It's just the lighting in here. Don't worry about it. You guys rock. Let's get some music going real quick. We'll segue out of this and start getting ready for some grounded stuff. Oh, it's Pinky's favorite. That's what I'm talking about. The Loop Hero vibes. You guys rock, man. Happy Sunday. Good news segment. Thanks, guys. Ooh, man, big stretch. I don't know, man. I hope everybody's weekend's going well. We're gonna move on, do some grounded gameplay for the day, and yeah, we'll be pushing grounded pretty hard now. Kind of done with V Rising for the time being, and we're gonna try to get through grounded and then start getting into playing some Tears of the Kingdom. Start playing Tears of the Kingdom next. So that's what's on the agenda. Exclamation point schedule and chat if you're interested in knowing exactly what's coming up for us and everything. You can get a link to a Google Doc there and see what we've got planned for the schedule, what we've already played this year, and what's coming up for the rest of the year, and what it's a working schedule. It's tentative. It doesn't mean it can't change, but we try to keep it going for what we're planning, and as games get release dates and stuff, we try to update with what we're going to play, what we want to see played and play together and things like that. So if anybody's checking out this video gaming news segment or any of the other content we have out there on our different channels, whether it be YouTube or here in playlists, as we've got highlights and VODs of previous video gaming news segments, clips from those news segments. We've got entire playthroughs of games that we've played that are segmented out into different episodes, and then just a bunch of funny clips and things that have happened here in the channel. We've got a cool community of people that are in large part to thank for making an amazing community here that all of us are able to enjoy and be a part of every single day. And if anybody's checking out any of this content that we have out on these channels and you're enjoying it, I would prompt you to come hang out with myself and the rest of these amazing individuals that are part of what we do every single day, except for Wednesdays right now, whenever we go live at 6 a.m. CST. And we always start off with video gaming news before we dive into whatever video game play we have planned for the rest of the day, okay? Other than that, you guys just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we will catch everybody tomorrow morning for June 26th edition of Video Gaming News. All right?